Good Monday morning, everyone. It's new every morning, and I love Mondays. I know some people don't, but I love Mondays because I love every morning. Hope everybody's having a good morning so far. It's supposed to be cold outside. It is kind of cold. I thought I'd wake up to white snow here in central West Virginia, but so far, no snow. So stay tuned on that. Hope everybody's having a good morning so far. I hope I have some morning warriors with me this morning. I love mornings. I'm a morning person, and I like getting up and getting ready for this. You know, I do most of my prep work this morning, so I was up like at 5. I think I got up at 5 a.m. Good morning, Sue. I hope those warriors are out there. Of course, you can watch this any time of day because this news is pretty good throughout the day, unless something major breaks. But I have a lot of neat stories, some real news, which I kind of feel like I have to do. And then I got a bunch of stories that interest me, and I hope they'll interest you. So anyway, this is podcast number 16. It is November 10th, and I think tomorrow's Veterans Day. So we'll be here tomorrow morning as well. I hope you're enjoying this. It doesn't matter when you watch it throughout the day. If you're enjoying it, please love it and share it so other people can also enjoy it. So anyway, let's just get started. I got lots of stories. I don't know how many, and we'll just start getting going. Good morning, Lisa. I see you're able to make it on at 7 a.m. this morning. That's awesome. So anyway, I will go through some stories, and we'll see what we think of these. So the first one is the biggest story in the country today is Senate is taking the first step to end the government shutdown. So it kind of started on Sunday afternoon, evening. A group of moderate Democrats have agreed to proceed without a guaranteed extension of the health care subsidies that they have been wanting. Good morning, Donna. Now, doing this, a group of moderate Democrats are doing this, and it's kind of angering some of the other Democrats that want to keep it going. But, it's just time to move. And so anyway, we'll see where that goes today and tomorrow, because while the Senate is moving that direction, the House also has to. So it's still going to be probably several days before the shutdown is over. And it won't be over long term, because I think what they planned is just a short term thing. The SNAP story continues. On Thursday, Judge John McConnell, a Rhode Island District Court judge, ordered the Trump administration to fund SNAP benefits. Now, I have an editorial comment here. I don't really understand how a district court anywhere in this country can order the whole country to do something, but that's a system that I don't think was originally set up, but has over the years become that way. That could change. We'll see. Well, anyway, he ordered them to take the money from, are you ready? Children nutritional programs. That's where the money's going to come from. That's where he ordered them to. So that was Thursday. On Friday evening, the U.S. Supreme Court temporarily halted the lower court's order. That's how our system works. Then on Sunday evening, a federal appeals court denied Trump's request to halt the order. So anyway, when the Supreme Court did it, it lasted for 48 hours. That was on Friday evening. So it is continuing for at least 48 hours. Oh boy, what a mess. Good morning, Janet. What a mess we have. Anyway, so I got some interesting story. That's the real news of the day as far as I'm concerned, but I got some fun stories, I think. Who knows anything about the Edmund Fitzgerald? It was a boat. Now, I know about it because in 1988, Gordon Lightfoot sang a song about it. It became a big hit. It was on the radio all the time. And for anybody that was around in 1988, you might remember that too. Well, today marks the 50th anniversary of the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Now, I don't know a lot about it, and I didn't go into detail, but it was a freighter, and it sank in Lake Superior on this day 50 years ago, and the cause, it was a real bad storm, a big intense storm. But the exact cause that made it go down is still a mystery. So, 50th anniversary of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Denmark passed a social media ban for users under the age of 15. Yeah, that's Denmark. Now, there's a growing list of nations that are starting to do things like that. It's a good song, Sue. I like it too. There's a growing nations that are starting to be concerned about social media with younger people. Now, the question is, how are they going to do that? Oh, I'm in central West Virginia, and I think it just started to snow. So you don't have to leave to look out your window, though. I'll do the forecast for you. Here in central West Virginia, I see some snow coming down. Anyway, so they really don't know how they're going to do that. Now, one idea of banning or keep controlling what minors see is to roll out an official app, and that would be the app that they would go through, to get to it. Now, of course, they're also making it, how should I say it, getting parents involved. It looks like parents will probably be able to bring access into children, maybe as low as 13, but not until after they go through an assessment process, whatever that means. So, Jenna says she has snow. She's a little farther west than me, so I can believe they got snow. But it's coming down here, at least at my house it is. So anyway, we'll see where that story goes. More and more nations are concerned about young people and social media, and I understand why, and I'm concerned about it too. And you should be too. Okay, so next story is a new gene-altering drug or editing drug could effectively cure high cholesterol. Now, I said cure high cholesterol in some patients with a one-time shot. Now, it's just been a small clinical trial so far, but it would lower bad cholesterol and triglycerides by about half, with apparently no side effects. Now, this is early, small clinical trial, but it sounds great if they can do anything without any side effects. And of course, they'll do a lot of testing before anything like that would come out, because it's not like the COVID shot, which they did hardly no testing on before they brought it out. But that's another story. So we'll see where that goes. I love this story. It was a good song. People are talking about that song, and it was a good song. I remember when it came out because I was old enough. In fact, it came out when I was like, I don't know, a young adult. I'll just leave it at that. So Finland has decided. Finland now. We're going Denmark, Finland. Finland has decided that permitting children to get down and dirty in daycare will help them avoid diseases and allergies throughout their life. Get down and dirty in daycare. Dozens of studies have found that children who live in rural areas and are in contact with nature have a lower probability of catching immune system illnesses. So my advice to you, parents with young children, grandparents with young children, let's let them get dirty, okay? Apparently it's healthy for them, all right? Next story is a Rockefeller Christmas tree. It arrived in New York City on Saturday, which starts the tourist season there. And, New York City's big-time tourists at this time of season. They have about 750,000 people a day, approximately, come there. I mean, we're talking about 125 million people each year come to New York City for this time of year. And it starts now or soon. Now, the tradition of the tree dates back to 1931. What was going on was construction workers at that time We're in the process of building the Rockefeller Plaza. And they put their own money together to buy a 20-foot fir tree to put up. 1931. They put their own money together. And that's what started the tradition. And it's a tradition that, you know, we're mostly familiar with the Christmas tree in New York City because it's huge. I think this year the tree's 75 foot tall. It's 11-ton Norway spruce, and they light it on December 3rd, and they keep it lit till mid-January, something like that. So that's a pretty neat story. Okay, so I love some of these stories. I hope you all do too. World War I, there was a on a ship in the Pacific Ocean during World War I, Australian soldiers slipped letters into a bottle and closed the cap and pitched it overboard. Now we're talking about World War I. We're talking about like a long time ago, 100 years ago. All right. Well, 100 years after the bottle hit the water, it finally came home. Yeah, 100 years that thing was in the water. On October 9th, Peter Brown and his daughter found the bottle resting just above the waterline on the south coast of Australia. So Australian soldiers put it in the Pacific Ocean, and it came back to Australia. So, that's just a wonderful story. 100 years that bottle didn't break, just kept going for 100 years. It must have been some good glass. That's what I got to say. Good glass they made back 100 years ago. Well, it was finally given to the ancestors. And, as you can imagine, they were really stunned, I'm sure, but overjoyed by getting these letters that, that was written way back. And it wasn't just one letter. It was a group of letters of several people on that Australian soldiers on that thing, on that boat. 100 years. Wow. All right. So I'm going fast through this. I got a pretty interesting last story. A team of archaeologists believe that they have discovered the sites of the infamous Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, if you're not familiar with Sodom and Gomorrah, that probably means you're not reading the Bible. Okay. In the Bible, God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah with fire from heaven, at least that's the way it says in the Bible. Now, it first mentions Sodom in Genesis 13 as being in the Jordan Valley, which is where these archaeologists have been. And that's where Abraham's nephew Lot settled in 1900 BC, quite a while ago. So anyway, God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Why did he destroy Sodom and Gomorrah? Well, as the Bible says, and I'll quote the Bible, "Now the men of Sodom were wicked, great sinners against the Lord." Sin was abound in Sodom and Gomorrah. And there's a long story in there that's really interesting if you'd like to go read it, about Sodom and Gomorrah. So I would recommend reading it if you don't know the story. Now, I don't really know if God is really into destroying cities anymore. I mean, I don't know that's happening. I don't know. Let's see a lot of evidence of that. But I will say this. If he is, I'm thinking there should be a lot of cities that should be really nervous right now, if you know what I mean. And I'm sure you do. With that, I'm glad you came along. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll continue tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. I look forward to seeing you there. Have a blessed and wonderful day, and stay warm and be careful on the roads because I think it's going to get snowy. Bye-bye.